Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest party of the summer has finally come to a conclusion, and it was a fantastic show, wasn't it? SummerSlam. Some of the biggest shows of all time has been SummerSlam. Probably the most underrated pay-per-view that is such a big phenomenon that we've ever experienced. And this was a great show, man. And without further ado, through all of the ups and downs, a majority of them are ups, let's talk about SummerSlam 2020 and some of the fantastic things that happened on this pay-per-view. What's up, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show. Welcome back to another video. This is going to be a WWE 2020 SummerSlam reaction and review where we go through all of the matches that happened on the main card of SummerSlam and give my honest reactions to every single one of them. And honestly, really, there wasn't much that went wrong on this pay-per-view. It was an all-around great pay-per-view. Again, I'm a little bit more optimistic when it comes to WWE pay-per-views than I am with a lot of other things, because I truly do like this wrestling, and I don't really mind having a lot of the lesser talents getting a shot. But this ended up not being the case, man. All of the stars really shined in this pay-per-view, and fully deserved. Great pay-per-view. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on. Let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite match of the evening? Now, I have a few matches that I want to get to, and I will give you two matches that I thought were absolutely sensational at SummerSlam, and I also want to know your opinions about the ending of SummerSlam. I won't get into it now, just in case for anybody that hasn't seen it. It's already been well beyond 6 hours since the show actually occurred. So if you guys don't know already, I don't know what to tell you, but just for those who, just to make sure that if people do not know what really happened, I will give you at least a 20 to half an hour, however long this video is, spoiler alert, towards the end. So if you don't know what happened, I suggest you go watch it and then come back. But if you've watched it and you want to know my reactions, here we go. Let's start off with the very first match of the evening. It was Bayley versus Asuka. Now, originally, and I still stand by this decision, when I heard that Asuka was going to compete for both championships, I was not happy. And the reason why is because you have some fantastic women's athletes that should be going after these titles. It doesn't have to be just Asuka. I understand the concept. I understand why they did it. I understand it was because Asuka probably needed to re-win the Raw Women's Championship. I understand that. But deep down, you really need to think that is not the best answer to put her in a match with Bayley and Sasha Banks, because you have so many great wrestlers that could have taken one of the spots. And I don't know. I still stand by that. Now, I love Asuka. I think she's a tremendous athlete, one of the best wrestlers in the world. I say it with everybody, but she's definitely one of them that you could arguably say is definitely up there. And I'm not opposed. Both matches were sensational. This match was good. Bayley is a good heel, man. She is. She's a fantastic heel. She really makes me despise her sometimes. But in the end, she got the job done by Sasha Banks actually interfering and taking the hit for Bayley, and Bayley ends up picking up a roll-up victory. 1, 2, 3. Bayley retains the SmackDown Women's Championship. And there we go. It was a good match. I'm rating this match probably at a B. I think that's where the match ranking should be, at a B. It was a decent match. I really enjoyed it. And to be honest, it was a great way to kick off SummerSlam. And the two matches coming next is probably the reason why Bayley and Asuka started, because the other two matches weren't so great. So going into the next match, it was the Street Profits versus Andrade Cien Almas and Angel Garza with Zelina Vega by their side. This match was up and down. Now, obviously, the athleticism of these guys is beyond comparable. There's something else, man. There's some raw athleticism in the Street Profits. Andrade is one of the best wrestlers. Again, he's one of my favorites. I really enjoy his matches. And Angel Garza is someone that I'm still trying to get to know a little bit more of. Of course, I've seen him on Raw on a regular basis. I know what he's about, but I still think we've yet to see the best out of him. So these are the things that I'm waiting for. However, this was not a great match for a SummerSlam standing. It just wasn't. At the end of the day, I can sit here and praise these guys all they want. I think they really drop the ball here. I can't say with all my heart that this was a great match. The ending of the match was great. A reverse frog splash like that, or like the way that he turned, unbelievable. I really, really rated that. And that's again, it speaks to the athleticism of these guys. Super, super great finishing move to end the match. But overall, I don't think it was a decent match. This was probably a SmackDown level at best. I don't know what else to say. I don't want to bash these guys. Obviously, they gave everything to the match. It just didn't really end up turning up well. And there were a bunch of things coming into this that I really didn't like. Like, why was one of the Street Profits poisoned? You know, like, I don't... You know, there's just some things that were a bit questionable here. But, again, that's up to interpretation. People probably love that. And I don't want to be that guy that questions everything WWE does. At the end of the day, you have to try things to succeed eventually. So I'm not opposed to them trying new things. It was a bit weird to me, but in the end, it's something that I wasn't completely opposed with. But regardless, the match, I wish they could have done better, and I hope they get the chance to prove themselves that they could do a better job than what they showed here. And I think deep down, at one stage or another, you will see a better match out of these guys. Next up, Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville. Loser leaves the WWE. Now, I don't know why they cancelled the hair versus hair match. I thought that was a great idea. I haven't seen that in a long time. And I really thought that this was the perfect opportunity to do it, but they changed it to the loser leaves the WWE. No hair was cut, unless I missed something. Maybe I did. I don't know, but I didn't see no haircut. And it started off very, very well. It started off very aggressive, but overall, I don't think this match was particularly great either. By the way, the Street Profits match, I'm giving a... I think I'll give the Street Profits match a C+. I think that's where I'm looking towards at the moment. And this match as well will probably get a C+. Now, obviously, the winners of the match were indeed Mandy Rose, who just absolutely bicycle kneed her to oblivion for the entire match. So many bicycle kicks and bicycle knees. They ended up having a little hockey thing. They're just throwing the chairs on the table. That was pretty entertaining. I was hoping one of them would hit her, but that didn't turn out to be. Sonya Deville is a great wrestler, and in the end, I guess she's gone. Now, I don't know. Someone needs to tell me this, because maybe I clearly must be missing something. But there was no signs of Sonya Deville leaving the WWE before this. According to my knowledge, at least, there was no signs that she was actually going to leave. So is this just going to be a work? Is this going to be a situation where she's not actually leaving? I don't know. But Mandy Rose ended up winning the match. I didn't think Mandy Rose was going to lose. I always thought she was going to win. So it's one of those situations where she won. But what exactly is going to happen with Sonya Deville? Does she just leave? Is she gone? She was supposed to be the future of the WWE Women's Division. Why is she gone now? And she was tremendous over the past few months. Honestly, that feud, when it comes to the promos, was sensational. Both of them did really, really well. And I was proud. I was proud of both individuals. And obviously, the match didn't live up to the promos, but doesn't really matter, man. There's something in these two, and I really hope that if Sonya Deville's really gone, I hope she doesn't quit wrestling. But I don't think she's really gone. I think she's still going to be with WWE. It just doesn't make sense to me. But whatever. Hopefully she's not gone. That's all I can really say. Yeah, that match gets a C+, and obviously the winner was Mandy Rose. Next up, Seth Rollins versus Dominic. This match felt like it took ages, and honestly, it was a good match. This was probably one of the better matches of the night. A lot of people would say this is the best match of the night. I'm very, very happy to say that Dominic lived up to the hype that was given to him by all those people. Everybody wanted to slate this kid for getting an opportunity before a bunch of wrestlers, and it was very, very well justified to have that opportunity at such a young age. In his first match was at SummerSlam against an opposition like Seth Rollins. A bunch of people would pray to have an opportunity like that. But in the end, if he failed, then people would have that right to absolutely go crazy on this guy for getting such a chance. But he was tremendous. He did not look out of place at all. I was watching this with my friend, and he was asking me questions about Dominic, like, has he ever wrestled before? Obviously, he's not really well versed in WWE, but of course he knows Rey Mysterio and he knows Dominic, so obviously it's interesting to see. And this guy did not look out of place. Dominic was sensational in here. He had the emotion. He played everything to perfection. He sold well. He took power power bombs, he took Falcon Arrows, took suplexes, kendo sticks. I mean, what more can you ask for a guy that's been put in a situation like this? He took everything that came to him, and then he even dished some out himself. He made me proud today, because honestly, I was not one of those people that gave him that criticism. I was not one of those people that say he didn't deserve to be there. In the end, the guy had to be trained. If he wasn't trained, then you could say he didn't deserve to be here. It's not like it was a situation where Ronda Rousey was wrestling and she was never trained, or wasn't trained enough, or even to the point where a footballer like I don't know, you could say Baron Corbin. Or in the end, I'm sure this guy wrestled very, very hard. There were even some celebrities that have never taken a bump in their life that's had a better opportunity than what Dominic was presented to them. And those are the things that deserve criticism. Dominic is probably... I'm assuming his future is within wrestling. So I don't have a problem with him getting this opportunity, even if it's at an early stage, even if he doesn't deserve it, even if people think that he wasn't good enough. But I thought he was great. And Seth Rollins really, really elevated the match as well. Having someone like Seth Rollins there, who is perfect at his role. Seth Rollins over the past few months at this whole Messiah role. Everybody wanted him to turn heel about 6 months ago, and when he finally did it, he's playing his role to perfection. When I saw him go to Rey Mysterio's wife, and it looked like he was going to attack her, I was a mark. I went crazy. I couldn't believe that was what he was thinking in his mind. Obviously, nothing ever happened, and obviously the winner was Seth Rollins. I don't think there was any doubt in my mind that Seth Rollins would have won this match. I don't see how Dominic wins his first match in WWE against someone like Seth Rollins. That's borderline insane. In the end, after he beat Seth Rollins, what's next for him? I think Dominic really needs to go to NXT. I think that's where his future lies. Once this storyline ends, of course. If there is something still left to be talked about with this feud, then fair enough, he stays. But I think the majority of the people would say he needs to go down to NXT, and I think that's exactly what he will do. But in the end, he performed extremely well. He performed at such a high level, and I think there's a lot of people that will be praising him after that match. So the winner was Seth Rollins. Obviously, Dominic did a 619 outside the ring and a 619 in the ring. Unfortunately, when he went for the frog splash again, he got the knees up, Seth Rollins, and then he curb stomped him and he pinned him. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins is the winner. This match, in my opinion, is an A- match. That's what I'm rating it. It was great. I really enjoyed the match, and I hope to see more out of Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio. I don't think this feud should end for a long time. They work so well together. I truly believe that. But obviously, they'll have to go to new things whenever that is. Obviously, SummerSlam is a great way to end the feud. But if there is still more to tell, let's tell it. I'm ready for this, man. I'm ready for this. Going into the next match, and this match was great in my opinion as well. Sasha Banks versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. Now again, the issue with Asuka that I said with the Bayley match stands here. I don't think she should have competed for both. But in the end, she didn't win both, did she? So this match was fantastic. In my opinion, it was much better than Bayley versus Asuka. This match was sensational. Sasha Banks did everything in her power to elevate this match. And for the life of me, I saw this in the comment sections when I was even planning to make this video. Sasha Banks never gets the glory, does she? I know she's won a lot of Raw Women's Championships, but nearly every time that she's won it, she barely can defend it. Why do WWE keep persisting that Sasha Banks is not a rightful champion that can hold the title for a long period of time and that can elevate the title? Every time she holds the title, it means something. And a lot of people really like what Sasha Banks does when she's the champion. Obviously, her character now is just as good as it was when she was a face. She is a fantastic heel. She came out of WWE as a heel. But the fact that they don't give her the chance to actually have a successful title reign is beyond me. But of course, you need to tell a story here. And obviously, the story is leading to a Bayley and Sasha Banks match. Now, I don't know how long that's going to take, but eventually you suspect that is going to be the main match that will happen, and then maybe finally Sasha Banks will be given an opportunity then. Oh, so the winner, obviously, as you could tell by the way I'm talking, Asuka won with the Asuka lock. What Sasha Banks did with Bayley, ending up sacrificing herself for Bayley's victory, Bayley did not do with Sasha Banks, and Sasha Banks ended up tapping out to the Asuka lock, and she's the new Raw Women's Champion. I have nothing against Asuka. I'll keep saying it. Absolutely nothing. If you go look at my previous pay-per-view results videos, I really rate Asuka. I really do. And I rate Sasha Banks as well. And that's why it frustrates me that this was even a conversation of a match to the point where Asuka was versing 2 people. It just shouldn't have happened. But in the end, she is the Raw Women's Champion. People say she shouldn't even lost it in the first place. But obviously, we're building a storyline here. WWE is building something, and we have to wait and see how it ends up. And hopefully it ends up right. Hopefully it ends up right, man. I can't wait to see where it goes. But I really feel like Sasha Banks, when her career's all said and done, she really needs a chance to grab that title and have a successful title reign. Give her 6 months to a year with the title. Let her prove she's one of the best. She is one of the best, but she never really gets the chance to prove it. Everybody knows it, but the title reigns doesn't speak volumes to how good she is. It's as simple as that. Next up, we've got a great match. By the way, the Sasha and Asuka match is an A. It was definitely one of my favorite matches of the night, and that is probably one of the highest ratings of the night, except for the next match, which is just as good. Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, WWE Championship. Just when you think Randy Orton was a sensational performer beforehand, people thought that he lost his touch. People said that he wasn't good enough. People said that he was too old, that he was lazy, that he didn't want to try anymore, that he lost all his effort and will. He has performed one of the best in recent months for the WWE. He has been the standout man, and he proved it again tonight. That match against Edge, sensational. His work on Raw, sensational. His work at SummerSlam, sensational. Give the man his props. He is one of the world's greatest wrestlers of all time. He will go down in the Hall of Fame as one of the greatest wrestlers in history. But still, people persist that this guy is just lazy and he doesn't work hard, and when he's disinterested, it's over. He's admitted himself that he works best when he's interested. He's admitted that himself, so I'm not going to go against that. But he needs credit that people don't give to him. It's as simple as that. And obviously, Drew McIntyre is the WWE Champion. These two put on a clinic. It was one of the realest wrestling matches that has been put together all year, especially on the main roster. Definitely on the main roster. We can talk about NXT TakeOver if you want, but definitely on the main roster, that was one of the better matches. And the finish, for me, when I first saw that finish, I thought, this is ridiculous. How is the WWE Championship match going to get decided on a roll-up? On a back roll-up. 1, 2, 3. Just like that, it's over. And then after a lot of hours, it took me a lot of hours from making this video from watching the pay-per-view, because I really needed to process exactly what happened. A few hours after watching the pay-per-view, I'm finally starting to understand why they did it. And they did it because this rivalry is not over. Eventually, we will see these finishes take into place. They will verse each other again. It's probably going to be a payback, and things will change. Things will happen. Randy might win the title. Either way, we're going to see some beautiful wrestling again. Maybe a finisher put into it. Obviously, protecting both wrestlers is what their scenario was. You need to protect both of them, because in the end, beating Randy Orton with a roll-up, with a 1, 2, 3, just like that, it's not really the most defining victory for Drew McIntyre, is it? So in the end, this is going to protect Randy Orton while also giving Drew McIntyre the title and protecting him as well. I really enjoyed this match, and upon heavy reflection, I was going to give this match a B+, just because of that silly finish. But after thinking about it, I'm going to move it to an A. That's how much that finish really pissed me off before. But now that upon thinking about it, I understand it. This is why listening to WWE fans sometimes really, really puts things into perspective. WWE fans are not as stupid as people think. Some of them are, some of them are not. It's as simple as that. And they really shed light on the situation. You have to respect them, man. WWE fans are not stupid. They never have been, and they never will be. Yeah. Anyway, moving on to the final match of the card. Braun Strowman versus The Fiend for the Universal Championship in a street fight, or a false count anywhere fight, whatever you want to call it. Same thing to me. Alrighty, let's have a little chat, shall we? Braun Strowman looks like the Big Show when his hair's cut. I hope that's not the angle they're trying to go with, that he's just going to be a big guy that's a monster, like a Kane vibe. I hope that they make Braun Strowman into his own man. This match was not bad. This match was very good. It wasn't the best match of the night, and you expected it to be with those two men. There were a bunch of things. I think the match was a little bit short as well, to be fair, for a main event. But in the end, it was a decent match. Obviously, Braun Strowman gave everything. He power slammed him. He hit him with chairs. He did a bunch of things, man. But obviously, the Fiend is superhuman. Ends up Sister Abigail-ing Braun Strowman into the canvas that was exposed. I think twice. It could have been 3 times. I'm pretty sure it was twice. Seals the victory. All this hype for Braun Strowman, that he is a monster, that he's coming to destroy the Fiend. In a matter of 10 minutes or so, just was not the case. Was not the case. It really, honestly, it was unsatisfying, that match, in many, many ways, because all this hype to show that Braun Strowman was really a monster. He was a monster among men, and he was fulfilling exactly what was set out to be, his destiny. He's following his destiny. Then in a matter of minutes, he gets crushed. I mean, what does that say? What does that say for the guy? I don't know where he's going to go from here. I'm assuming there will be a triple threat match with... Hold on. We'll talk about that later, because after the Fiend was celebrating his Universal title victory, the big dog, the big man on campus, the biggest dog in the world, came back and absolutely destroyed the Fiend with one spear. You see, Braun Strowman can put Bray Wyatt, or the Fiend, through all this hell, man. All this hell, put him through canvases, take him backstage, hit him with this, hit him with that, power slam him, and he gets up like it's no problem. Even choke slammed him through a table. It gets up. Nothing. No sweat. I could do this all day long. Roman Reigns comes with one spear. The Fiend takes 10 minutes to get up, man. Roman Reigns is the biggest dog of the town, isn't he? And obviously he attacked Braun Strowman as well, gave him a spear, hit him with a lot of chairs, and it looks like Roman Reigns is the big bad heel dog, isn't he? He's the big bad heel dog, and he's coming for his feast. He's looking to bite everybody in town, man. And yeah, look, I kind of predicted this. I mean, I don't want to say I did, because obviously people won't believe me. But I said this to my friend, like, what if Roman Reigns shows up tonight? I have a good feeling, like, if it's not now, it's going to be Survivor Series. That's what I told him, and it ended up being now. So I'm very happy I actually predicted that. I'm not usually great at predicting WWE. That's why I don't make prediction videos. But I thought that was really, really good. He has new teeth as well. Did you guys see that? That was beautiful teeth, obviously. Yeah, that was good. Obviously, the big dog in town, man. He's back. And I'm assuming there's a triple threat match between these three that will eventually happen. Now, if I had to give this match a rating, I think I'd give it a B+. I think that's where I think this match would be. I don't think it was an A level. I don't think it definitely wasn't one of the matches of the night. But the big dog in town, man. It's good to see him. It is great to see him. You expect... when something like this happens, you want to see the best superstars happen, and it was a surprise, and everybody was so excited. And now that he's heel, people are gonna love him even more. The fact that he's back, at least I think that he's heel. Unless he hits someone with a chair 15 times, you should be a heel. I'm sorry. As soon as someone picks up the chair and hits him after the match, he's a heel. That's the way that I see it. It's always been like that. There's not been one face that has grabbed the chair at the end of the match and started wailing on someone unless they did it to them first. Prove me wrong. Anyway, that was SummerSlam, sorry. It was a fantastic pay-per-view. Overall, I think I'd give this an A- pay-per-view, or maybe even an A. I'll give it an A. It was a great pay-per-view. It wasn't perfect. There were some matches there that if they were just a little bit better, this SummerSlam would be the perfect SummerSlam. But it was definitely one of the better ones in the few years that I've seen. And obviously, this is the first one that I've reviewed, so I'm extremely proud of being able to watch something like that and coming onto here and talking about it and have people watch. No matter how many people will watch this, the fact that people did watch it is a big accomplishment for me. So I want to know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on. Share the video and the playlist. I really want to know what you guys think about this SummerSlam. Was it as hyped up and did it deliver on that hype as you thought it would? Or did it let you down in some areas? Have a wonderful day, guys. I'll see you in another video. Take care and peace.